Hey everybody, this is Dave coming to you from the Gaming Cave, and today we have on the table U-Boat Leader from Dan Versen Games. And this is a solitaire submarine game where we are the Germans. And so what I thought I'd do is, one thing I wanted to do was talk a little bit about the difference between this game and like Silent Victory by GMT. So a couple of the big differences is that in this game, the game is victory point and experience point driven. So that's how you win, is by victory points and experience points, where in Silent Victory, you get it through mission experience and tonnage. So you earn medals and the more tonnage you sink. So you're really driven by your tonnage on that game. Now, in this game, the victory points are also associated to tonnage. So the larger the ship, the more victory points, more experience points you'll get for sinking it. So it's just a little bit driven, just slightly different. So what I thought I'd do is, probably won't play the whole campaign. I've been playing it for a little bit now, trying to make sure I had it down pretty good. I hope I do when we go to do this quick little run through. But I do want to show you the movement and then how the combat works, at least for one of the ships. So I went ahead and I selected Happy Time over here, which is June of 1940 to May of 41. It was a period when the Germans were doing a lot of, the escorts weren't as heavy, and so they had a lot more opportunities to sink ships. And as I always do, I set it up for the medium campaign, and then as I always do, I went in and selected my U-boats by random draw. And what I did was I selected them all as green, and then I went through and I looked on their torpedo skill, and if anybody had a negative torpedo skill, I promoted them. I paid the points to promote them. So out of and by doing that, I get 4 extra SO points. So I ended up having 45 SO points, and I spent 30 on 6 U-boats here. The highest level is trained, so I don't have anything super U-boat here or anything. So most of them are green, and I got 2 trained, or 3 trained, 1, 2, 3 trained U-boats. So it's a nice, it's not bad. And I selected I drew the Type 2B. His restrictions are the North Sea and the British Isles. That's as far, and he only carries 5 torpedoes. So he's one of the early U-boats and not very good. I also got a Type 7B, another Type 7B, and another Type 7B. And then over here I got a Type 9A and a Type 9B. So on my campaign map, what I did was I put the 2 Type 9s down here in France, and they're going to patrol out to the mid-Atlantic and the southwest. And then I'm going to run the other 4 boats out of Germany, and they're going to handle the North Sea, the British Isles, and if we want, the western approaches. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to assign U-23, the Type 2B, a special mine mission. So he carries 5 torpedoes. If I go without any torpedoes, for every 5 torpedoes I give up and replace with mines, I get 3 victory points. So again, like I said, it's all about the victory points. So we'll take the torpedoes off of this boat, and we will replace it with the mine counter. So we'll put the mine on there, and that's going to be his first mission. Now, the way this game flows a little different than the other typical leader games, in that the turns aren't as defined. What you're doing is you're based on patrols, and a patrol lasts as long as you're out here on the map doing your patrols and moving. Then it's just sequence after sequence. But once you come back to port, that submarine has ended its patrol. Now, a medium campaign is 2 patrols per U-boat. So some U-boats could end early, and be done. And other U-boats are going to be out patrolling and carrying the game a little longer. So it depends on your luck, your stress levels, and all those things. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to move U-23 out into the North Sea. And I'm going to see if I can get you up here. I'm going to do this by hand here. I got a pretty bad glare right there. Yeah. There we go. If I can get the glare off there. So we have patrolling. In fact, I'll tell you what. I got a better way of showing you this. I'll show you on a different card. But they work the same. Here we go. So when you move, you have patrolling and you have moving. So if I move into an area, these are how many event cards I have to pull. Once I do my contacts and I've done my searching and I'm sitting there, then the next time I come out, if I stay in that area, then it's patrolling and I got to pull 2 event cards. If I move on to another area, then I get the moving again. Okay, so it's pretty easy as far as that goes. All right, so that was better than trying to pick everything up. The U-23 moves. For moving, he gets 2 event cards. So here's event card number 1. Ultra Intercept. Place a U-boat warning counter in this campaign map area. Okay, so warning in this area goes here. It's a -2 to the contact roll. So now they know there's submarines out there. And when I go to roll contacts, I got to roll -2 on my die. Okay, gets the second event card. This one is, Donitz takes notice. If you score 9 or more victory points during this tactical segment, gain 2 SO points. This only happens once per campaign, so once it's used, that's it. So we'll hang on to this one, and we'll see how many in this tactical segment. That's what we're in right now, is we're getting ready to go into a tactical segment. Okay, so I finished my new move on the North Sea. So he's going to move to the British Isles. So moving, he gets 1 event card. Clear weather, no effect. And the other one would be after June of 42, which I'm not in. Okay. So now I'm going to go to my special mine. It costs me another event card. This event card, rough seas. Add 1 stress to this U-boat. So he picks up a stress. And now we're there to lay mines. And so we lay our mines. I'm going to lay my mines right there. And now he goes into the searched box. And he's finished. He's completed his moves. And he got 3 victory points. So on the sheet that DVG provides you, you get the campaign, you get the medium, the patrols, SOs, keeping track how many you still have that are available. And then U-23 just gained 3 victory points. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we got 3 victory points. This is on patrol number 1. So you can see experience points and their ratings to get to the next level. Okay. All right, that took care of U-23. Let's come down and do U-44. And this is the Type 9A. So he's moving out into the southwest approaches. It takes 2 event cards. The first one, morale boost. Remove 2 stress. Well, he doesn't have any, so there's no stress to remove. The second one, clear weather, no effect. Okay, so he's good. He's moving into the mid-Atlantic. So he's out in the mid-Atlantic, and he needs 1 event card. Maintenance. You may spend 2 SOs to remove a stress, so I don't need to. From each U-boat, but I don't need to for that many SO points. Okay, U-44 is there, but I'm not going to roll for contacts yet because I'm going to bring U-122 out there, I hope. And if he gets there okay, then I can have a wolf pack if I need one. Okay. U-122 moves out of port. He needs 2 event cards. The first one, maintenance, same thing. A lot of these event cards are repeats, so you'll see this. Fatal error. If the U-boat is unfit, it's not. If the U-boat is not unfit, add 2 stress to this U-boat. Okay. So U-122 down here, just picked up 2 stress. Oops. Okay. We got 2 stress. He's going to move. Now he's over here. Pulls 1 event card. Fatal error. Again, 2 more stress. So his crew is not doing very well. So I need 4 stress on him. He's at his stress level now. Okay. But there they are. So their movement is done. Now we're going to move the other 3 U-boats. They're coming out, and we're going to try to get them to the western approaches. Now the reason I'm going all the way out is because just like where U-122 just picked up a stress, he's going to run a contact, and he's probably going to go home. If his stress gets much higher, well, he can actually go to 6, so he's still okay. But a contact's going to add another stress to him. So these are the things that, you know, start to pile up. And when you get shaken, you know, you got to be heading back home and get your crew rested again. Okay. Here goes U-47 into the North Sea. It's 2 event cards. Enemy aircraft. Okay. Roll a die. Add the evasion rating. Okay. This is U-47. And on U-47, I don't know if you'll be able to see this too well, but we'll try it. His evasion rating is a 4. So I roll a die, and we're going to see, I add this to the die roll, and it is a 1, which gives me 5. Not a good roll at all. I take a light hit, but I gain an experience point. So U-47 gains an experience point, but he takes a light hit. So now we have damage counters, and we randomly draw one, and it says light hit, 2 tubes, long lasting. So we put, hang on a minute, I think I got a, let's see, this one is L, means it's long lasting. I can't repair it. So on U-47, we have a red 2 tubes goes on there. This counter goes back into the pot. And I lose, when that happens, I lose 2 torpedoes. So I go from 5 down to 3 in my ready torpedoes. So I lost 2 torpedoes too. Okay, so that was pretty sucky. All right, now we're moving to the British Isles. 1 event card. Radio intercept. Add +1 to this U-boat's next contact roll. So we put him down here. He's a +1. Okay, for his contact. Now he's going to move to the western approaches. And this is 1 event card. Rough seas. Add 1 stress to this U-boat. Enemy aircraft. And we gain experience point. Okay, so he's going to gain a 2nd experience point. He gains 1 stress because of the rough seas. So he goes from 4 to 5. Well, he's already got 5 stress. This has been a tough way to go. And there's an enemy aircraft. So we got to roll. And you know what? I just put that on the wrong boat. That was U-122 over there. We're doing U-47. He gets 1 stress. That's his first. Okay. Now we roll. His evasion is 4. And 6 makes it 10. Add 1 stress. And I gave him the experience point already. So he goes up to 2 stress. And he gets 4 stress levels. He's in the western approaches now. Okay, U-51 moved out. You can see in this game, you're going to burn through event cards and convoy cards really fast. So you kind of shuffle them a lot. Okay, 2 event cards. A lone merchant. If the U-boat is not unfit, it's not. It may spend 1 torpedo to gain 1 victory point. So we're going to do that. So I can pull this torpedo out of my stored torpedoes. So he goes, I have 9 there. So now I'm down to 8 on this one. And I get a victory point on U-51. Okay. So he just sunk a ship on his way out. His second event, maintenance. You may spend 2 SOs to remove 1 stress from each U-boat. And you know what? As much as I hate to do that, I'm going to do it because I've already got stress on all these U-boats. So I'm going to spend 2. I'll mark them on my sheet. And I can remove 1 stress from each U-boat. So U-23 has no stress. U-47 goes down to 1. And that really helps U-122. He's down to 3 now. So it gives me a little more breathing room with that submarine. Okay. U-51 moves to the British Isles. 1 event card. Radio intercept. Add +1 to this U-boat's next contact roll. So he's got 1 of these too. All right. He moves on to the western approaches. And he has clear weather, no effect. All right. 1 more boat to move. U-74. 2 event cards. First one, clear weather. Second one, lone merchant. Again. So U-74 is going to fire a torpedo right here. Gets rid of 1. And he gets a victory point. U-74 picks up the victory point. Okay. He moves to the British Isles. He's got 1 event card. Allied submarine attack. Now, this is the first time I've seen this one. Roll a die and add evasion rating. Okay, here we go. My evasion rating is a 4. 4 plus 8 is 12. 11 plus. If the U-boat is not unfit, it's not. It may spend 1 torpedo point and gain a victory point, which we will do. So U-74 just expends another one. And he picks up another victory point. Okay. And now he moves to the western approaches. He gets 1 more event card. This one is patrolling escort. If the U-boat is not unfit, it may expend 2 torpedoes, suffer 2 stress points to gain 2 victory points. And there again, I'm going to do it because, see, these are sure hits. So we'll go from 3 down to 2 out of my stored. Oops, took that out of the wrong one. Out of 3, down to 2. I pick up 2 stress points because I just battled with a destroyer. But I gain 2 victory points for U-74. Okay, now we're all the movement phase is done. So now we're at the point where we can start doing our contacts. So we can start searching. Okay. So you can see we ran through a ton of event cards to get out here on this first move. Now we're going to do searches. So I've got U-122, and he has a special skill. It's searcher. So because he's a searcher, he gets to add 1 to his contact roll. So he's going to do the search here. And I got U-47, who had a radio intercept that he gets to add 1 to his. And he's an infiltrator, and that's important too if we get a ship. So I think we'll start with U-47. Let's do him first and see what he gets. So he's going to roll on a contacts. So there's a table over here that tells me 1 to 4, no contacts. 5 to 7, 1. 8 to 9, 2. And a 10 plus 3 contacts. So we're going to roll, and we get 5. So we get 1 contact. Okay. So we're going to pull the contact and see what it is. And it is 2 merchants and an escort. The escort's in tight. So we have counters because we don't know what they are yet. There's our escort. And this card tells us where to put the ships on the tactical display. And because I don't know what the merchants are, they go in there like that. Now this bottom text does not apply yet. We'll be using that in just a little bit. So now I have to decide, do I want my wolf pack or not? I got 2 merchants and a destroyer, and I can get in close with these guys and try to see if I can sink them. So I think for this case, I'm not going to. He's going to go this alone. 2 merchants there. He's going to see if he can hit one. He is an infiltrator. And because he's an infiltrator, did I get that right? Or am I looking at the wrong one? Looking at the wrong one. Okay, U-44. He's not an infiltrator. He is, because I'm out here. So what do I want to do here? Maybe I will, just to show you. I can do a wolf pack with these 2 submarines. Now, the way this works is I use a radio call, and it costs me 1 SO, and they're unlimited. I spent 1 on my mine also. So that's 4 SOs I'm spending right now. And because I'm in the same search area, it's automatic. I don't have to roll a die, hope they got the call, they come. So both my subs, U-44 and U-122, are coming in here, and there's a destroyer also with them. Now, I can go after the destroyer if I want. Okay, I don't know what they are yet, but I'm going to come in here at this long range, and I think I'll come in away from that destroyer. Okay. The next thing we do is now we pull another convoy card and we see what the bottom text is, and this gives us special conditions, and we have 1 contact here on the board. Okay. Contact firing solutions, add 1 to torpedo die rolls. That's cool. Okay. We're going to lay this up here so I don't forget it, because I'm bad about forgetting when I get special stuff. Okay. So we're out here. We're on the surface. And in fact, if I'm on the surface, he gets a chance to contact me. If I'm not, if I start here and I move in, I'll be within spotting range of him and him. I can see what the destroyer is, and I can see what this guy is. The thing is, this is going to move on me. When I'm submerged, I'm slower, and I want them to move. I want them to move in, but at 1, from out here, I'm still a pretty good ways away. Let's see. The lag is going to carry them before I shoot. It's going to get me in within 1. Okay, we're gonna try this. I'm going to go submerged. I could go surface over here, and maybe I attract that guy. I'm going submerged with the 122 and surfaced with the U-140 with the U-44. All right. U-boats move. He can only move 1 when he's submerged. So he's going to move in 1 space right here. He can move 2. He's going to move right here. Okay. And with movement, after we do our movement, we get to reveal targets. Anything that's 0, 1, or 2 hexes away. So everything is within 2 hexes of these 2 boats. So we're going to find out what we got here. So we'll start with the merchant. And this merchant is the Zwiderkirk, 8,000 tons. Okay, so it's a medium freighter. I don't think I get him out before. Let me get him out real quick. Oops. All right. So here he is. So we know what he is now. We'll go ahead and pull the other merchant. He is the Flora, small merchant, 3,000 tons. He takes that one. And now we pull our Escort, because range is 1, 2 from this U-44. He can see him. We pull our Escort card, and it is the HMS Balsam. He's a Corvette. Okay, so a little smaller Escort. So there he is. Okay. Okay, the next thing that happens is lag. So this is the thing you have to kind of learn. The fastest Escort is the one you go on. And both of these are 2s for their speed. Now, I have a 2 on the surface, so what you have to kind of think of is this is a radar scope, and these in the middle are moving, so everything on the outside moves in relation to those ships. Okay? Because I'm a 2, I'm staying with them. I don't gain or lose any ground here. Okay? This guy is a 1, 2 and 1. He's going to lose the space, so he's going to come in, and that's why I came from that direction submerged, because it actually brought me in closer. So now he's in a great spot to take a torpedo shot here if he could survive and not get detected by the Escort. Okay. So now we have to do our detection. I just like to have things out here to make sure. Okay. So the U-boats, or I'm sorry, the Escorts are going to roll. There's nobody detected on the board yet. And for a submerged boat, it's 0 to 1. So he cannot detect the U-122. I'm out of his range. But for the surfaced, he can detect the U-144. So the Balsam, to detect a surface ship, his detect number is 5. So he has to have a 5 or higher, and there's no modifiers yet. So he needs a 5 or higher to detect. And he gets a 9. He detected me. Okay. So now we're detected, which is going to affect his movement. He's going to be coming after us probably. All right. So I have to decide what to do next, because that U-boat or that destroyer is coming, but he's not there yet. All right. Next we do escort, detect, and move. If the U-boat escort movement, not detected. Escort movement detected. Move toward a random detected U-boat equal to the destroyer speed. 1, 2. He's in the same hex with me. Okay. So that wasn't cool. I'm already in trouble with that one. So you can see why you want to come in submerged. I may have lost a U-boat already. But we'll find out here. Okay, one of the things on the ships on the submarines is initiative, cautious or aggressive. And all my submarines are cautious. So that means that the destroyer or the ships are going to fire first. And then the U-boats get to fire. So I have to survive this destroyer attack. Okay. Now I could have taken a crash dive or something, but I've decided I'm going to see if I can get out of this. All right, so the U-boat's going to attack. Now the way this works, or the destroyer's going to attack. I'm on the surface. He gets, because it's a Corvette, he's small, he gets 3 light hits. Okay, the evasion on U-44 is 3. So I get -1 light hit for every 2 of those. So that means he only hits me with 2 light hits. So I draw 2 light hits. The first one is electrical, and it's long lasting. The second one is light, and it's my gun. Okay, so I got to get out an electrical and a gun. Right here. Let's see. The gun. Well, you know what? I would pick ones that I hadn't had before. Okay, here's my gun. It was a light temporary hit, so he takes that one. So the gun goes back in, and now I need a permanent electrical. There it is, and it goes there. All right. So I survived. I didn't take anything that was going to sink me. I can't fire my surface gun, but that's okay right now, because what I'm going to do is fire my torpedoes at this guy. All right. So the U-44 is going to fire back at that Corvette, because I want to knock him out and then go after this merchant ship if I can. I have 6 torpedoes ready. I can fire a spread of 3, which I'm going to do. So I'll go down to 3, all at the balsam. So he's going to have 3 left in his tubes. That means I get 1 dice. I get 3 dice for each one. My torpedo skill on U-44 is 0, so I don't get any modifier there. At range 0, I don't lose any modifiers. And I get a spread of 3. So the way the spread works is you get 3 dice. I get to add a modifier of 2 to the highest die, and only the highest die, and that tells me what damage I do to this ship. Okay, so 3 dice, highest one's the one I'm looking for, plus 2. 2, a 5, and a 5 gives me a 7. A 7 on the balsam is a heavy damage. So I hit him. He's in trouble because he can't keep up with us now. He's going to lose speed, detect, attack, all that stuff. All right. I have my U-122 over here that's going to fire. And he's going to fire at the Reattack, and he needs a 3, 7, or 10 to hit. I'm at range +1. I'm going to fire 3 torpedoes here. Let's see. Maybe give me a 3, or put 3 on there. Yep. So I had 6. I'm going to go down to 3 on him now. So I'll have 1 and 2 left in my ready tubes. He is -1 for his range. So he is going to be spread of 3, it's +2. That didn't count. Here we go. Well, got to be in the dice tower. Here we go. The third die, I have a 1, a 3, and an 8, plus 2 is 10. And 10 against the Reattack sunk him. So he's gone. So I sink him. I get 1 victory point and 1 experience point for that one. And that's U-122. He gets an experience point and a victory point. And he sinks the ship. Okay. The Zwider Kurt is off the board. Okay. So now we circle back to the movement phase again. And so we become, you know, what do we want to do? We can move, right? So this is challenging. He's going to move this direction, and we're going to move. We're on the surface, but I can change. We're going to submerge. Gives me one movement, which is going to put me here. Okay. Now we do lag. At 2, he can lag 1, or he could lag 2, I think, but I'm going to lag him 1. This guy's going to lag 1 space back, so he's going to be here. And the destroyer, who can't move because his speed went to -2, he lags back 2. So now we're at range 2 to that destroyer. And he can fire at me at range 2, I do believe. Okay. Okay, and because he has heavy damage, we reduce that by 2 on his attack. 2 light equal 1 heavy, but he has the destroyer, the balsam. He has 3 light. We reduce that by 2, which leaves him with 1, and my evasion gives me -1, so he can't hit me. So I got away from him. So now I have the flora bracketed. So U-44 is going to send 3 torpedoes into the flora, range 1. We're going to fire all 3 of them. Okay. And it's -1, +2 because of my spread. Eight, 9, and 8. Whew. So 9 + 2 is 11 against the floor. She's gone. Sunk it. So the floor goes down, and U-44 gets 1 victory point and 1 experience point. Okay. And the floor is sunk. That's it for the floor. Now, the rule says that a ship that suffers heavy damage at the end of the turn, I'm looking for it real quick. Final shot. If one or more ships ended with a heavy damage counter, you can choose to reattack any one of those ships instead of reattacking the convoy. Reduce the contact counter by 1 as you would for reattacking the convoy. Expend 1 ready or stored torpedo or 1 gun ammo. So I'm going to send the U-44's guns dead. He's going to fire. He's the one that was dueling with him. I'm going to let him take it. He's going to fire 1 torpedo, and the balsam goes down, and I get 1 experience point for that one. So we get rid of the balsam there. Okay. These 2 U-boats go into the search box over here. They go into the search box. We get a warning contact in this area now because we've been out and made contact. And the balsam got eliminated. Okay, so we're getting 40 minutes into the, and you know what I forgot to do? Even though I laid it there, I forgot to add one to my torpedo roll. So I might have sunk that destroyer. No, I had a 7, it would have made it an 8. I still wouldn't have sunk him right then. But so the whole purpose of this was to give you an idea of what it takes, how this moves, how the combat goes, and the movement. Now they're there. I would do the whole series again for these 3 U-boats here in the western approach. And then based on, and of course 44 and 122 are both going to pick up a stress because they were in the battle. You know, and I have to start thinking about U-44 at 4 stress. He still has quite a few torpedoes, so he's probably going to stay out for 1 patrol and hope the event cards don't give him a bunch of stress. And take care of that. Then we do the same thing for these guys. Decide if we want to, you know, depend on what you draw for the next convoy card. It could be 1 merchant ship. You don't need a wolf pack for that. You can go in there with your deck gun and hit them. So this is the series of the combat. And then once they get done, they go to their search box. Then you start the movement again. You decide, am I going to stay in patrol? Do I want to move to a new area in patrol? You know, what do you want to do? So, you know, because there's a warning, -2 on my contact, I'll probably move these guys back to the southwest approach. Let them patrol there. Then, if U-122 needs to go to home to port, no problem. He can go get some stress off of him. While the U-44 stays out on patrol. Same thing up here. U-23 is done. He's going to move back to port, and he's going to get his first patrol is going to be done. These guys are going to decide. It's going to depend on what they get, right? Not all of them have to come home. 1 of them can stay there. 2 of them can come here. 1 of them can move back, go to port. The whole thing is you don't want all your submarines back to port at the same time, because if you do that, you lose, I think it's 2 victory points. If everybody's in port at one time, no ships at sea, no subs at sea, you lose victory points during that turn. So you've got to make sure you keep somebody out here on this map while the other boats are getting refitted. Okay? So really, that's where I'm going to leave this video off at. This game is pretty fun. It's not overly complex. The hardest thing is getting your mind wrapped around the enemy movement of this lag movement. And once I did that a couple times, I picked that up pretty good. You can see you got to use some strategy. Those destroyers will hit you. I got lucky because I just got a Corvette. If I'd got a full-size destroyer, he probably would have put some hurt on me, or I would have crash dived, tried to get away from him so that he couldn't hurt me as bad. But you know, once they get on you and they're in the same square with you, you're in trouble. So I hope you enjoyed it. In just that 1 round of movements and just that 1 battle, I've already accumulated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 victory points already. 10 victory points is still dismal in a medium campaign, but you can see you can gain victory points pretty fast in this game, and that's what it's about. So this was kind of a show you how it works. Hope you liked it. Leave me some comments if you liked what we were doing. If you want to see more of it, I can do another one later on. Maybe run the full campaign, but I wanted to get this one on the table and just kind of go, hey, here's what we're doing. Here's kind of what we got going on. So I hope you liked it. I did. And you know, if you're new, please subscribe. And if you liked what you saw, give me a thumbs up. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.